Hello, I'm Otto and welcome to episode 38 of my Factorio Post Novice Guide. So in the last episode we had a bit of a chaotic start, and I promise we're not done with the chaos. We are on a little bit of a timer. We have Pentapod eggs that are counting down. So we're going to need to collect some more ingredients. We're going to have kind of an automated process, well, somewhat automated process of collecting some of this stuff by the end of the episode. Before we get too far though, I want to make a bot mall for the biochamber. So we're going to give this some generic, doesn't really matter what it is. We are going to give this the standard wood, coal, stone, iron, copper, and we're going to give that a 112233 44 whoops and 55. So we're also going to trash and requested the assembler, the fast inserter that I have here in the middle. Oh, and why would you want to do fresh first? Whatever. So this is going to help pull out any of the spoilage that we have from this chest if it gets clogged up. Trash unrequested is good. We are going to circuit connect this one and say enable if, what is the main thing that we just used? Oh, the biochamber. Enable if biochamber is less than 66, which will be a stack. And I guess we can do the same thing here with this too and do biochamber 77. Okay, so we're going to make a blueprint out of this. Create. I really need... I forgot I was going to organize all my Fulgora blueprints before going to Gleba. Whatever. It's fine. I will try to remember to do that later. We're going to call this Biochamber Bot Mall. Right, so we need to parameterize this. This is our 0 parameter. This is not a parameter. This. These are ingredient parameters, so they will be 0, 0. You know what, actually? What I probably should have done was taken this one. Let's make a copy, because we will just use this to kind of create new blueprint. And then a lot of this stuff is already set. This is ingredient of 0, ingredient of 0, ingredient of 0, ingredient of 0. This needs to go to the top. And then this would have been a stack size, and this would have been 10 times the stack size. And I'll change all of this later. I can go ahead and change this now, actually. Okay, so we need to go grab some stuff. So we're going to get some Yamako mash. That's right, not mash. We're going to go get some Yamako to start with, because that is kind of the important one. And we have it here. So we're going to just grab like a whole inventory worth. Well, I mean, not a whole inventory worth, but we're going to grab a bunch. We need a lot to get going. Like I said, we're going to have the process of having a lot of this, like, not have to go chase down stuff like this by the end of the episode. Did I miss some? Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch right there. This might be too much. Yep, that's what I thought. Sorry, bots. You guys are going to have to trail behind for a bit. Okay, so that's going to get a lot of that for us. So I want to remove this. And the reason why I want to remove that, this, and this is because I feel like certain things get priority over others. And I definitely want these to have the highest priority whenever it comes to getting the nutrients. That's kind of a big problem, as we have seen. And I need one of these and one of these. Yo, what? 31? No thanks. How about 3? Oh, what? He's... Okay, we're gonna remove this and remake that. Yeah, that's way better. I must have just copied all of this. Alright, I'm gonna get the bots to just take out everything in the area. And we're probably gonna need some more power. What do you mean no fuel? Oh, never mind. So let's just double up on this. We're gonna need some heating towers. Let's go. Heating towers. We're gonna need some heat pipes. There we go. Okay, so then they should start this. Let's just give this guy some speed. We wanna pick this up a bit. Okay, so whenever it comes to a lot of this stuff, especially these two down here, it takes, so we have a 50%, well, not 50%. We have a 2% chance to get a Yamako seed from the Yamako processing, and a 2% chance to get the Jellynut seed from the Jellynut processing. One seed will create 50 of the nut or the fruit or whatever. So this is roughly a 1-to-1 ratio. The Biochamber has a 50% productivity, so that will definitely help out, but we do want to just increase our chances at productivity. So I'm going to give these guys some productivity. Well, we might even give them a little bit more. Something like that. And these guys can just get some speed, because that is going to be an important part of the process. Oh, and the trash unrequested. Really? Okay. I guess in the future I should maybe change the way that works. How would you parameterize this though? Yeah, that's going to be the same thing. Whatever, I'm not too concerned. I am concerned, however, with the lack of nutrients. Oh. I also want to tell this guy No, that's a bad idea. Okay, you know what? We'll just leave it for now. All right, let's go get some Jellynut. Got some here, a couple down here. See one on the map over here somewhere. There it is. Oh, hello. Oh, and they're right next to some. Can I get the bot? Will they chase the bots? I don't even know. Ah! Go gadget bots. Here we go. Or I guess not that many. Okay, that is probably sufficient for now. Yeah, so what we're actually doing is we're chasing seeds. We want to get as many seeds as we can. And the way that, oh my. The way that we're doing that is with the different Jellynut and Yamako in the processing, and then again with the productivity will give us much higher chances. So I'm going to request in a couple of things. Actually, I'm going to get the peon. I'm going to send him back to Fulgora. So I want him to specifically request in rocket fuel from Fulgora. Now we don't have that set up, so I'm just going to do that real quick. There it is. Like, rocket fuel on Fulgora is basically free, so... Bro, like... I get it. You guys can't... And then I also kind of discovered another problem. Like, we're going to be doing a couple of different things on Fulgora, but for now... yeah, these guys are not bringing in any fast inserters. That's because all the fast inserters here are just going to be recycled, so... We are going to use the bot mall blueprint to create one of those, and one should be fine. Okay, we have 4 seeds there. And we are still struggling with nutrients. Can I just jumpstart this a little bit? What? What is going on? Oh my gosh, I did not request in... Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's request in like 10 each. Talk about oversight. Is anybody else having that problem? Probably not. $31. Okay, so let's enable you if... What did I have this set to before? 10? 5? And we're going to have to go find another egg because yeah, did not have this guy inserting back into himself. I think I saw one up here, yeah. Okay, well, and we can get some more Yamako while we're at it. Yeah, and like I said, we're just building up seeds right now. Once we collect enough, then we will take off and... 3. Once we have enough, we will start automating at least some of the mining. And I have a special way that I'm going to do that. Okay, so now you're going and you can just make me some biochambers. Yeah, we're not going to limit this guy at all. However many you guys want to make, you go right ahead. Okay, how's Peon working out? Good. Mr. Jam is jammed up at Fulgora. I think I might put in some kind of... Yeah, I might put in some kind of condition that's like, hey, you don't necessarily have to wait on these guys, just go. I'm not going to worry about that right now. This is not a huge problem, although I could use some of those materials. Okay, why are you not producing spoilage? Right, we are going to get this guy to just request in as much jelly as you can. That way we can get some more of these seeds. Where are all my seeds? Are we just haven't produced that many yet? Okay, so we need to make a little list of things that we need extra. So I want 10 of each of the seeds. Well, at least 10 of each of the seeds. And I want them to be on me because once we start converting them, it is going to be a huge problem not to have them. We need heat towers. We need solar panels, whatever solar panels we have. 26, perfect. I need offshore pump. I have offshore pumps? We need some agriculture towers, so let's make some of those real quick. Oh, landfill. Definitely some landfill. We need heat exchangers. I don't think we're not going to need heat pipes. We should be fine with that. And all right, we have inserters. We should be good. That should be most of what we need for now. 6, you know what? I'm just going to cut that guy off. We don't need to waste the resources. 5, what is taking so long? We could probably use the jelly. That's gonna probably burn through the rest of our nutrients. Whatever nutrients we... Okay, so we're gonna burn through some of our nutrients and add in one of each of these just to kind of have some extras. And I need to reparameterize this guy to add in requests for these, for the nutrients. Man, you just like, you miss one little thing, right? And then I can go to town. I don't really care. Maybe a little bit. Okay, we now have 10 of each of the seeds. Well, we have quite a bit more of that seed, but whatever. So what are we going to be doing with those seeds? We are using our bot mulligan. And we need to create some artificial soil for the Yamako and the Jellynut. So So we're going to do that. And one over here. I kind of feel like we're going to need more Jellynut. That is wild that this guy can't even keep up with the seeds. So he cannot get this stuff out of here fast enough to be able to then also grab the seeds. Because of how fast this is creating this. Similar problem? Well, that is good to know. I mean, eventually this would have gotten jammed up and it would have no choice but to take the seeds out, but actually I'm going to change it back just for that reason. Okay, so we have 100 of this and 50. We'll hold off on that one. Okay, so we need to kind of start the process of farming. Yes, welcome to Factorio Farming Simulator. I do not have any of the agriculture towers on me. How many do we have total? 6? 6 is fine. Like, we're only going to use like a couple right now anyways, so not even that big of a deal. Okay, so whenever it comes to the agriculture towers, you can see that there's a grid, and you have a red grid. You have, it looks green, that's actually kind of yellow, and you can kind of tell better here because that is the green section. So the red section, we can never build anything in this area. The yellow section, we can eventually build stuff in this area. We just have to put some soil down first. Kind of, mostly. And the green area is, it can be built on right now. So the thing about the green area is we can actually also go physically manually plant stuff there. So I'm not going to worry about those just yet. I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start up here. And this is why we brought landfill, because this is all water. So if I were to take the soil, wherever the heck that went, really, I did not request it in, and I have trash unrequested. Thank you. Hey, at least I have 100 of each now. Okay, so if I grab the soil, you have these little green sections. For now, this is the only place that we can craft. Oops. And if you can't fill the full square, you might as well just not put them down. Like, I have one left. You might as well just not place that one. Okay, so these guys use Yamako seeds, and we're going to do something interesting. We're going to take an assembler, and this is going to be kind of our seed production. So we're going to take the Yamako, and he's going to process it. We are then going to allow him to put seeds back in. We need a power source up there. And then we are going to have an inserter up here that is filtered for Yamako mash, because we don't want to we don't want to be putting seeds up into what we're about to do. So we need a heating tower. We need a heat exchanger. We need a way to get water in. Thankfully, we have offshore pumps. And oh, look, we're basically offshore. So we can just direct feed that right in. And then this guy and this guy. So we need to jumpstart this a little bit. That is plenty of power. So we're going to also go get some rocket fuel, because we're going to jumpstart this process. So I'm just going to grab 2 stacks. Oh boy. Is that coming down? Any minute now? Yay, rocket fuel. Okay, whew. That's kind of our bread and butter right now. That is what's holding our factory together. So that will start the process of getting this set up at least. He's got seeds that he needs. And over time he will just wait for these guys to farm. I think it takes like, I think it's like 5 minutes for these to farm or to be produced. But when you scroll over it, you can kind of tell it says expected resources 8, 7, 5, 9. Once that gets to 50, then they're big enough and ready for cultivation. Okay, so let's do the other one as well. So same thing, down here in the purple, this not watery looking purple area is kind of the good area. And we're not going to build on top of that. We're going to try to squeeze in maybe around it. Actually, I can kind of just copy. Offshore pump didn't work. That's fine. And this is going to be the Jellynut. This is going to be filtered for jelly. And I think that was it. And give you some rocket fuel and give you some jump start. Oh, we need the soil. That's kind of one of the important parts is the soil and seeds. Okay, so now that those guys are chugging along, we need to go back to, we're not going back, but we need to fix a problem on Fulgora. So I've had this little growing problem and I just kind of noticed it earlier and I was like, ah, wow. We have a lot of holmium ore piling up. I mean, not that piling holmium ore is necessarily a bad thing, but then I got to looking at this and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is too high. And then whenever I was looking at it, it still says there's 31K. And I was like, okay. So that did kind of temporarily solve the problem. And then now we have this problem of we have basically no red or no blue circuits. So we're going to solve that problem. But also, you can kind of see that whenever I scroll over the main network, we have negative values for some things. So a large part of the reason why that happens is because of the constant combinator. We have that connected to the main network. So I'm going to cut this guy and bring it down a notch. And the way that we're going to solve this is we're going to completely disconnect the constant combinator from the network. And the way that we're going to do that is by disconnecting the decider combinator from the network. And we are instead going to add in an arithmetic combinator and connect it to the network. And then connect the arithmetic combinator to the decider combinator. And tell this, take each. You can do multiply times 1 or plus 0 and then output each. And that's basically just a way of dividing the network. So now instead of me going like this and the whole network is lighting up with the decider, I do that with the arithmetic combinator and then the rest of the network lights up. So that just kind of creates this little breaking point. Also, I think some of these values are probably too high. This can probably be lowered to 16. So something else that I wanted to kind of touch on was here. We are just draining our red and blue circuits here. So I'm going to connect all of these to the green wire. And then connect that to the main network, because that is what we are connected to for everything else. And we're going to tell this one, this is the red. So we're going to enable if red is greater than, I don't know, 10K? Seems reasonable. With the blue, we're going to do probably the same thing. Enable if blue circuits are greater than 10K. Another thing that I noticed was we actually we didn't set these up to request any holmium at all. So I'm going to set this up to request in probably 2,000 each. That's basically a full container. These store 2,400. So requesting 2,000 is all 4 of the top layers. And these are, okay, these are connected to the network. We're not connected to the green network, but I'm not, yeah, maybe we should connect them to the green network too. That way they can be connected to our decider combinator over here. It's still not registering them. Wait a minute. Oh, I know why. It's because all of these aren't connected to the main network. There we go. So we have 17,000. I don't think I want to trash that many. I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that back. But I just don't want them piling up here. That's the big issue. So as long as they are mostly coming back here, so that's 2,000 each. That's 16,000. No. Where'd that decider go? Or sorry, constant. We're gonna do 16. Yeah, don't know what I was thinking with 19, but whatever. Okay, so that's a solved problem. Hello. What, are you just not making enough? Like, what's going on here? Excuse me? Oh no, this is trash and requested. Thank goodness the Pentapod eggs are burnable. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so we have more soil, thankfully. And more soil. And we have more soil and more soil. How did we get 1? That's weird. I think. Seems weird. Okay, so anyways, we have basically completed the process of setting up our initial guys here. We can add some more. And he is not quite getting the seeds. Oh, I forgot to add productivity. No! Where's my productivity modules? Did I do the same thing for the other one? Oh, really? Go me. Okay. One of the most important parts of this is the productivity modules. So, yeah. Try not to mess that one up like I did. Oh, I'm pretty sure I requested more. I did. Perfect. Okay, so we're not completely in the red on this one. Okay, so now that we have these two set up, we could also, you know what? Hold on. At some point, we will have so many seeds that we won't really have a choice but to rip. At some point, we won't have a choice but to start collecting seeds in a container, and then that will give us enough seeds to build more of the, whatchamacallit, more of the soil, and that will be able, or that will kind of help us expand. I was actually thinking about it, and we might not have, like, this is, I mean, it's not a terribly large amount of space, but it might be enough. Nah, no, I still think we're going to end up relocating. Anyways, what is missing? Okay, so that's going to be it for me for this episode. In the next episode, we are... Wow. In the next episode, I kind of need a lot of this to kind of cook a bit. And so I think what we're going to end up doing is, I know I said I wasn't going to make a foundry upcycler, but I think we're going to start the episode with making a foundry upcycler. I only have like 2 recipes that I want to make, that I want to use a foundry for. Oh, I do have some on me. And that's basically just these 2. There's nothing else here that's worth upcycling for quality. So just these 2 things. But you know what? I know that people are going to want a blueprint for it. And eventually I'm probably going to make like a, I don't know, like a best of series where I go through and outside of the context of a guide or outside of the context of an actual run, just have like a standalone, this is what you're getting. I'm going to start from scratch and end with completing it. Have a one and done kind of package. The video might be super, super short. The video might be super, super long. However much time it takes to get the job done. Yeah, so I might have situations like that where I just recreate, this is how we do it. Because, and the reason why is because there were a lot of people that clicked on my video with the upcycler, and I don't think that they were expecting that it was an upcycler that we had already created and then just added onto it. So I think it would be a much better idea if eventually I just had a completely standalone version of all of those. So I will be doing that maybe starting next week. Yeah, so that is going to be it for me for this episode. I will see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.